I scare you with that? I'm sorry. I just wanted to greet you. But I guess it's kind of my fault for sneaking up on you like that, isn't it? Well, I apologize. I should have introduced myself first, shouldn't I? Well, please, allow me to make up for my mistake. My name is Veronica, and I recently moved here. You and I are going to be neighbors, and I hope we're actually going to be good neighbors. And regarding my habit of walking very silently, I'm really sorry it startled you, but it's just part of me. I will have to make a serious effort to make enough noise to be heard from afar. I just tend to be very silent, and it's too late to notice me, I guess. Okay, now it's your turn. Yes, I knew that. Well, your job isn't too hard to guess, to be honest. Though, that doesn't say much about you. I think people's job don't really say much about their personality these days. Many people just take any job that will allow them to pay bills. But what can you do? I mean, that's the kind of society we live in, after all. Oh no. Why would you think that? I'm not that old, but I do know there was a time when people put more passion in their jobs. Well, some people still do it, but it doesn't happen that often. Let me tell you. Oh, I didn't notice the time. I don't want to waste your time, but if it's not a problem, would you happen to have a bit of time to join me for tea or something like that? Well, perhaps I feel like I haven't made it up to you yet. But really, I'd just like to get to know some of my new neighbors today. Oh, great! Thank you so much for accepting. You may have saved my life now. Oh, never mind that. I may have exaggerated a bit. Well, would you like to come in then? I'll prepare something for you. Thank you. I haven't spent too much time unpacking yet, but I'm glad you appreciate what I did to my living room. It isn't much, of course, but it will improve as I found the strength to open the other boxes eventually. Oh no, of course not. I thank you for the offer, but I can't ask you to help me with unpacking my stuff. You barely even know me after all, and I just want you to be my guest here. Although you may be able to help me with something, actually. We'll, we'll get to that, don't worry. First, though, I have some biscuits for you. Well, thanks. I didn't bake them myself, though. I am not exactly a good chef. Well, let's be honest. I'm terrible at cooking. I'd probably set the kitchen on fire if I tried anything more complicated than a fried egg. That's why I always keep these biscuits ready for when I have guests. I can tolerate my cooking skills, but I don't want to poison my friends with the eldritch monstrosities that I can bake. I appreciate that you like them, though. Now tell me, have you happened to hear the news about vampires? Yes, I think that must have been quite a shock for everyone. Vampires have been part of society for centuries, yet nobody noticed them until now. Yes, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? And yet it's true. Aren't you fascinated by how long vampires have been blending in with human crowds? Always here. And then, all of a sudden, they're no longer stuff of our legends or scary movies, but people. Actual people. A bit different from humans, with quirks, charms, and difficulties. Not to mention the newly discovered sickness that only affect vampires. I mean, those were there too, but they were unknown by the masses, and of course, science ignored them too. They wouldn't even consider the existence of vampires before the revelation, so why should they even consider vampiric illnesses? That's why today medicine struggles to cure vampires from their disease. They have to rely on more traditional methods. Not always reliable, but still better than nothing. Well, I've talked long enough, though. I wouldn't want to make you feel uncomfortable. But this is a topic that interests me a lot. It always fascinated me so. What do you think then about vampires, Mm. Mm. Well, that's rather open-minded of you, I didn't expect many people to be so tolerant. I guess fascination is prevailing on fear, at least for now. It's sad, I know, but I don't think this period of grace will last very long. After all, we always tend to fear those who are different from us. Sorry, I was about to get gloomy. That's unfair of me, again. I mean, your answer did make me very happy, so I have no reason to behave this way. Well, I guess I can tell you now. I'm not simply fascinated by the vampire world. I was always curious, that's true, but this topic really interests me for more particular reasons. Not the least of which is that I am a vampire myself. Uh, uh, yes, I'll give you some time to absorb the shock. Sorry if that came unexpected as well. It seems like my tactical to use some work. But yes, you may have figured out that the reason why I was so silent before is that, as a vampire, I tend to move very silently. It's about a natural talent and an acquired ability, to be honest. One of those abilities that always seem to stay part of your behavior and personality, no matter how distracted you get. Well, I think our personalities are much more complex than our physical form anyway. So, I'd like you not to think of me as a gloomy, eerie vampire who spends the day in a coffin and slips away in the dark night to suck blood. No, that is a stereotype. I'm nothing like that at all. It's almost like someone used us as these characters of children's stories, as if we were orcs or monsters of some sort. No, I don't think. I don't really think orcs exist, to be honest. But who knows? Maybe someday they will reveal themselves too, and we'll be as surprised as you were when it was our turn. Well, about what I do with my time, I must say that it really changed with the revelation. You see, I told an old friend of mine that I was a vampire. And after a full day spent trying to calm down her exciting yelling and answering tons of questions, we had an idea. Where do vampires go when they need something? Think about it. It's not like there's a vampire mall anywhere around. That's how we decided we'd open up our own general store for vampires. It's called Dracula Sweets. I don't know if you've seen it in town. It has all sorts of goods a vampire may need. I helped her clear her plans from nonsense, and she set up the shop adequately. We're on the place together, and I do the night shift for now. Maybe one day we'll have people working for us, but right now I'm just happy we got it open. Recently though, it became harder and harder to stay awake. I had no idea why, and I asked an elder vampire about it. He told me I'm suffering from something he called, what was it? Ah yes, the stunned blind. It is a sort of sickness that affects vampires, and it can strike at any age. It makes it harder and harder to regain strength by sleeping. Even blood gives less sustenance. The body slowly turns stiffer and colder. Yes, colder than normal. Eventually, you start sleeping for entire days or months, and then years. You have to rely on someone to wake you up in advance. And even then, if you didn't get enough energy from sleeping, which is usually the case, you end up walking around like a zombie, tired, awkward, and sleepy all the time. Yeah, it's terrible, really terrible. And that's one of the main reasons the legend about vampires sleeping in coffins was born. you will be left for dead and entombed. I don't know how many vampires were buried alive and died because of that. Sorry, it's just that you never expect these things to actually happen in real life. When people tell me about the blight, I used to think of it as a sort of legend, something that couldn't happen to me. Until one day, I was woken up by my phone ringing. I had something like 50 lost calls from my friend. She was both knocking on my door and trying to call me. When I answered, I had to calm her down first. I didn't know why, but I had slept for almost 20 hours, and she was about to call the police. It was hard, and I've been looking for a cure until I finally found one. You see, the blight can be cured, but it takes a very special kind of blood to do so. A very rare combination that you can't really find in a hospital, honestly. I made a lot of research. Really, I spent a lot of time searching. And in the end, I found the unexpected. The perfect combination of blood and... I'm sorry to bring this up now, but you may have understood that I'm talking about you. I don't want to trap you with guilt or force you to do something you don't want, but I need your help. That is all. I'm not sure being straightforward would ever convince you better than I did by running around the question until now. Who knows? Maybe I've been tactful enough, or maybe now you're just mad at me for not telling you. Well, if you do want to help me, I'm going to need you to lend me your neck for a little bit. I know it may seem scary, but believe me, it doesn't actually hurt. And it leaves no mark, unlike what the movies show. Can I please take just a little bit? Just a little bite? Just a taste? I ask nothing more than that. You could really save my life. Thank you. Thank you. You have my eternal gratitude for this. You won't regret it. Well, now for that bite, I suggest you to look up, so it doesn't get any more personal than it needs to be. Really, if I had to write a list of the people I'd like to make uncomfortable, my savior would be pretty low on that. No, it won't hurt. Trust me. And it'll be over before you know it. Just like a mosquito bite, you know? Except mine won't sting afterwards or leave a bad-looking bulge on your neck. But you know... Never mind. Forget what I said. That was a bit embarrassing. But seriously, thank you for that. It was very refreshing. I actually feel more active now. Have I not noticed colors at all until now? My curtains look terrible like that. Oh no. I'm sorry you had to see this. Yes, I feel fine. Much more than just fine, to be honest. And it's all thanks to you. I owe you for what you did. And you probably don't even realize how much you actually helped me. I don't know if the blood I drank was quite enough to cure me completely, but it's okay. I can manage and, well, would you consider helping me again in the future? You know, until I heal completely, I can make it worth your while. Perhaps I can play all kinds of card games. I'll make all your evenings fun if you let me. That's what I meant, basically. Remember, after all you've done for me, well, I'm not saying you should take some things for granted, but I'm very willing to help you. And I'm honored to meet you too. You are one of the kindest people I know. I mean, after all, not everyone will let a total stranger suck their blood, you know. It's like your kindness conquered me. I feel like I can trust you completely, especially given the fact that, you know, your blood told me a couple of things about your personality. Yes, vampires can do that sort of thing. Your blood tells us what kind of person you are. And I know you are a really good person. We all have our flaws, but I couldn't detect any from your blood. Well, I think I've kept you long enough. I'm sorry if this took too long, but I didn't want to rush things. Hey, maybe we can actually see each other later. I don't know, it may be fun. Okay, see you later then, neighbor. And thank you again.